What up guys, Rapture here and welcome to my review of the multiplayer side of Medal of Honor. If you haven't seen it already, excuse me, if you haven't seen it already, there is a single player review for the Medal of Honor Warfighter campaign. That's on my channel, so I'll put a tab on the video so you guys can go and follow that. And I'll also put a tab on the video for the review which was before the single player Medal of Honor Warfighter review, which was Forza Horizon if I remember rightly. So, Medal of Honor Warfighter Multiplayer. I'm not going to go on about the presentation because the presentation is the same as the career. Some things look amazing, some things could look better. The main thing which I really want to talk about is the gameplay for the multiplayer and how it handles itself. So, overall, the multiplayer is solid, but it's solidly average. It doesn't do anything new, and it just does the old things at a decent enough level that it's playable. So the gunplay in general, it feels a lot more like a Call of Duty game than it does a Battlefield. You'll have times where you'll be like running and gunning, one-to-one gunfights. You'll also have times where you'll be doing a Battlefield 3 kind of holding a position, especially when you're playing something like Sector Control or Hot Spot or some sort of game mode like that. But the game itself, the firing mechanics, the aiming mechanics on multiplayer are decent enough. Apart from one thing, I don't understand why they've got the peek and lean system in there. In the beta, the peek and lean system was overpowered, kind of. I mean, the person who would peek around the corner, you wouldn't see them peek around the corner, but they'd be able to see you, you'd get annihilated, and that's just one death, and over and over and over again. But now in the full game, the peek and lean system's actually been nerfed quite a lot in my opinion. Now people, when they lean around the corner, their full body basically comes around the corner. But the person who's doing the peek and lean system is at a disadvantage just due to the fact that they're an idle target. And idle targets, if people knew already, idle targets are usually a lot easier to shoot than moving targets. And I know it sounds like a stupid thing, but that's the main flaw with the peek and lean system, is that you're not moving at the time. You have to hold. Well, the way that I had it set up is that you hold B to lean around, so I couldn't use the aim stick, the right analog stick either. So it was B and then the left stick to tilt around the corner. And I usually just use it to see who was around the corner and stuff, and then I'd do my typical run and gun around the corner. But it plays a lot more like Call of Duty than it does Battlefield. I think there's reasons for it due to the size of the maps. It's very close quarters, the majority of the maps. For some reason, there's a part of me which doesn't see the reason why they have sniper rifle classes in the game. They're not particularly needed, and there are times where the sniper rifle class. There is one sniper rifle still in the game, which is a one-shot kill, chest or above. But I think if you pre-ordered the game, you got that sniper rifle straight from the start. It is kind of overpowered. You do get a lot of people camping with that class. It's not the nicest sniper rifle. The one shot is overpowered, but it's the only gun on the class which is usable. Every single little the semi-auto snipers are kind of crap, and the other bolt action sniper rifles are all 2 shots apart from headshots, as you do with the same with Battlefield 3. But even at close range, the majority of the sniper rifles, bolt actions, are not 1 shots. They're still 2 shots. But let me get into the custom class and menu section. So my biggest gripe with the multiplayer side of things is the way it presents itself in the menu. What it does is it gives you like this list thing where it gives you choices of what game mode and stuff that you want to search for, what class you want to select, and also how you want to customize your class. Now, one of the best parts of the multiplayer is how you customize your class, but getting there is one of the worst parts. What you'll see on the review now is like a list thing at the top of the screen. You'll have that in the actual main menu. The first 2 sections are servers that you've previously played on, game modes that you've been previously playing on. And the other one will be selecting a game mode that you actually want to play, selecting a server that you actually want to play, like you can do in Battlefield 3. The 2 after that are selecting a class that you want to play as. I think in total there's 6. You have your typical sniper rifle class, which is the Scout. You have your assaulter class, which is your assault rifles, like short to medium range encounters, and then you have classes like your demolition class and your Spec Ops class, which are very close quarters, very objective based. They're very good at clearing out areas, especially the demolitions class. And every class also has its own special ability. So the scout, as a sniper, can go into a spot, set up its bipod, and the area that it's looking over, if an enemy runs across the area, they'll be able to be seen on the radar for, I think, everybody in that area. The assaulter gets a grenade launcher. Yes, grenade launcher is, thank God it's not an attachment, but no, it's a special ability which you do have to unlock. And then stuff like your demolitions class is like a blast shield thing, but it doesn't really act as a blast shield. It acts more like basically acts like a riot shield, like a full body riot shield. You get shot, they'll take 1,000,001 hit markers, and unless you get headshot on them, you'll basically get killed. That's how it usually works. Unless the person who on the other end of it is really crap at the game, you will die. The other one is Spec Ops class. The only reason why I really remember this one is it's short to medium range encounters all the time. But its special ability is the reason why you remember it. The special ability is it gives the player the ability to see through walls, depending on the range. If the enemy is quite close, like say on the other side of the wall, you'll be able to see them perfectly. You'll be able to see the full outline. If they're at a distance, it'll be like really, it'll start looking like static on the screen. That perk is quite handy for clearing out small engagements, getting an idea of where the enemy are on the map, whether you can make a move. I don't actually use it in this gameplay. I'm using the Assaulter class, but it's one of those classes which does seem at times a little bit overpowered. It also brings up the question in Black Ops 2 with I think it's the millimeter sight. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a red dot sight, and then it shoots out a beam like a heartbeat sensor does. And it outlines people's round corners. Apparently it's less effective while moving. No, it's less effective when staying still. It's better when you're moving. All that kind of stuff. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but in the game, the Spec Ops special ability, it's rather well balanced. At distance, it doesn't do an amazing job. At close range, it does a brilliant job. It does what it's supposed to do. It also works better on people who aren't moving, so I think they kind of may have taken a small note out of Call of Duty's book there and kind of gone, okay, let's incorporate that into our game. So the menu system is a bit of a mess. The game modes are actually pretty decent. The majority of there's actually quite a few bugs in the multiplayer that I've seen. There's a lot of tearing textures, pop in, pop out textures, a lot of it, especially when a map is first loading up. Also, the explosions are really overpowered. Grenades, if they're like right next to you, they will obviously kill you. But even if it's like on one of the further away icons, it still has the possibility of killing you. And it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit overpowered, but you just have to play around it. That's how the game works so far. So multiplayer-wise, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for the multiplayer Medal of Honor Warfighter as a complete package with campaign and with multiplayer. Considering I gave the campaign an 8 and I gave the multiplayer a 6, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I was thinking about giving it a 6, but I'm gonna give it a 7. The single player campaign is what really saves this game. The multiplayer is not going to be something that's going to last, especially with games like Halo 4 coming out, Black Ops 2 coming out, the surprise game coming out called Far Cry 3. The multiplayer on that is looking very, very promising. Not a lot of people know there's an actual multiplayer mode on it, but the multiplayer mode on it does look very solid and very decent. But it's a 7 out of 10 overall for Medal of Honor Warfighter. It's not a bad game, it's just not something which is going to keep you going over the amount of time that you'd hope something like COD would or Battlefield does still. But the reason why I've cut the review short is I've got two things which I kind of want to give my impressions on. First, Assassin's Creed 3. I finished it a few days ago. It doesn't feel like a third Assassin's Creed like it should be. It feels like another Brotherhood or Revelations. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. There's a lot of glitches in the game. Sometimes it does kind of ruin the game, but it does feel slightly rushed. Times the game could have been a lot better. But overall, the game is very solid. There is a lot to do in the game, so it's a 7 out of 10. The story is actually quite decent as well. And then you have Silent Hill Revelations. I'm probably going to do a full video on this at some point. But is it as good as the first one? Personal opinion, I don't think it is as good as the first one. But I'll probably end up doing a full video on that, just to clarify my points on the actual film, but it was a good movie. It's not an awful movie. It's a good movie. It's just that personal thing. I don't think it's as good as the first one. So Medal of Honor Warfighter, 7 out of 10 overall, 8 for single, 6 for multi. Assassin's Creed is a 7, and Silent Hill is a. I'll probably give that a 7 as well. Not as good as the first one, but it's not an awful movie. It's definitely worth watching. So this is Rapture City signing out from my own channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the reviews, the different reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Peace.